What if I told you that a ship, celebrated as unsinkable, met its fate on a starless night? The Titanic, a symbol of luxury and human ingenuity, embarked on its maiden voyage with dreams of grandeur only to collide with a hidden iceberg, sealing the fate of over 1,500 souls. Join us as we unravel the tragic story of the Titanic, where ambition and reality clashed in the depths of the ocean. Feel free to tweak it to your liking. Hello, friends. Join me as we journey back to April 10th, 1912, when the RMS Titanic, a true wonder of its era, set off on its inaugural voyage. This extraordinary vessel, the largest and most opulent ever constructed, was headed from Southampton, England, to the vibrant city of New York. On board, a captivating array of passengers filled the decks: renowned industrialists, dazzling actors, and eager immigrants in pursuit of their dreams. Under the command of the experienced 62-year-old Captain Edward John Smith, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. With breathtaking dimensions of 269 meters long and towering over 53 meters high, the Titanic was more than just a ship. It was a luxurious floating palace, ready to offer an unforgettable adventure. Step aboard the RMS Titanic, the grandest ship ever to sail the seas. Launched in 1911 and hailed as the unsinkable marvel of modern engineering, this floating palace was the epitome of luxury. Imagine lavish ballrooms, exquisite dining, and a guest list that included the rich and famous, all on a journey from Southampton to the vibrant streets of New York City. The Titanic, the grand ship of dreams, met its fateful end in the mysterious depths of the North Atlantic Ocean. Picture this: approximately 370 miles, 600 kilometers south-southeast of Newfoundland, Canada, where the icy waters hold secrets of a bygone era. Why was the Titanic considered unsinkable? I will tell you later. Titanic, a stunning icon of luxury. After departing from Southampton, England, the ship was alive with the laughter of wealthy elites, the rhythm of lively music, and dazzling American dancers. But at precisely 11:40 p.m., everything changed. World Report. Report 1. As to safety elements, the Titanic had 16 compartments that included doors which could be closed from the bridge, so that water could be contained in the event the hull was breached. Although they were presumed to be watertight, the bulkheads were not capped at the top. The ship's builders claimed that 4 of the compartments could be flooded without endangering the liner's buoyancy. The system led many to claim that the Titanic was unsinkable. Report 2. Before the Titanic struck the iceberg, the crew received 6 warnings about ice in the area, and passengers had noticed drifting ice earlier that day. Unfortunately, the lookouts, lacking binoculars, were unaware of the grave situation due to the calm sea. The operators, responsible for passing on messages, failed to relay all warnings. One even reprimanded a sender. Despite knowing about the icebergs, Captain Smith kept the ship at near full speed. By the time the lookouts spotted the iceberg, it was too late to avoid it, leading to a collision on the starboard side. Report 3. The Titanic legends, discoveries, stories, and ongoing legacy. The discovery: Robert Ballard. The story of the Titanic continues to unfold through the lives of those connected to it. Robert Ballard, a determined oceanographer, made history in 1985 when he discovered the wreck of the Titanic, lying 3,800 meters beneath the North Atlantic. Leading an expedition funded by the U.S. Navy, Ballard utilized innovative technology like remotely operated vehicles (ROVs) to locate the ship. His groundbreaking expedition not only revealed the haunting remains of the once magnificent liner, but also reignited public fascination with its tragic tale, prompting further exploration and research into the wreck. The ambitious Project Clive Palmer. Following in this legacy, Clive Palmer, an Australian billionaire and entrepreneur, embarked on an ambitious project to create Titanic II. This replica was designed to mimic the original ship's journey across the Atlantic. Announced in 2012, the project aimed to honor the memory of those who perished while providing modern amenities for today's travelers. However, despite initial excitement, the project faced numerous delays, leading many to question whether it would ever set sail. The teamwork Jean-Louis Michel. Meanwhile, Jean-Louis Michel, who assisted Ballard in the discovery, played a crucial role in locating the wreck. As a deep-sea explorer and expert in underwater technology, Michel helped navigate the treacherous depths of the ocean. His collaboration with Ballard highlighted the importance of teamwork in such extraordinary discoveries, showcasing how multiple experts combined their skills to unveil the Titanic's secrets. Bringing the story to life. Exhibition curators. Over the years, exhibition curators like those behind Titanic the Artifact exhibition have brought the ship's story to life for over 25 million visitors worldwide. These exhibitions showcase authentic artifacts recovered from the wreck, including personal belongings of passengers, ship components, and even recreations of the ship's interiors. By telling the stories of those who sailed on her, these exhibitions create an emotional connection that resonates deeply with audiences. The ongoing legacy. While only about 20 to 30 adventurers make the rare submersible dives to the wreck each year, the story of the Titanic, filled with hope, ambition, and tragedy, remains alive through films, documentaries, and educational programs. These modern narratives keep the memory of those lost forever etched in history, reminding us of the human stories behind the statistics. The Titanic's legacy is not just about a ship, it's a poignant tale of dreams, love, and loss that continues to captivate hearts and minds across generations. The collision struck the Titanic right at her bow, the very tip of this majestic vessel. For a heart-stopping 10 seconds, the Titanic scraped along the iceberg, leaving a gaping dent and multiple small holes in her hull. You might wonder how ice could penetrate steel. While the ice in your freezer wouldn't stand a chance, this was no ordinary iceberg. Picture it as a colossal mountain of ice, just like a car crumpling against a tree. The sheer size and weight of this iceberg delivered a catastrophic blow. In the moments following the impact, Captain Edward Smith and ship architect Thomas Andrews rushed to assess the damage. What they discovered sent chills down their spines. The ship they had believed to be unsinkable was, in fact, taking on water and sinking. The Titanic was designed with a double-bottom hull for added safety, and it boasted 16 watertight compartments intended to keep her afloat, even if a few were compromised. However, the iceberg's ferocity breached 6 of those compartments, far exceeding the ship's safety limits. The grim realization hit them hard. The legend of the unsinkable ship was about to meet a tragic and unforgiving fate. At midnight, just 20 minutes after the collision, Captain Smith made a fateful decision to send out a desperate distress signal. Enter Jack Phillips, the senior radio operator and our hero of the hour. With unwavering determination, he tirelessly sent out SOS calls into the dark, freezing night, but the response was agonizingly slow. Each second felt like an eternity as he awaited a reply, knowing lives were on the line. Finally, at 12:20 a.m., a glimmer of hope appeared on the horizon. The RMS Carpathia picked up the distress signal. The Carpathia's operator quickly established communication with Titanic's crew, assuring them that help was on the way. But even with this small flicker of hope, time was running out, and the chaos aboard the Titanic was just beginning. As the ship began to tilt and panic set in, the reality of their situation became increasingly dire. The crew's bravery and the passengers' desperation would soon unfold in a heart-wrenching struggle for survival. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the unfolding drama and the heroism that emerged from this maritime disaster. Join us as we journey deeper into that fateful night when dreams of unparalleled luxury were shattered, and explore the lessons that forever altered the course of maritime history. As chaos unfolded aboard the Titanic, a stark challenge loomed. The RMS Carpathia, despite being nearby, was still a daunting 107 kilometers away. Even at full speed, it would take a grueling 3.5 hours to reach the stricken ship. Could the Titanic possibly hold out that long? In the pitch-black night, the crew frantically lit flares and fired rockets into the sky, their last desperate hope for rescue. Yet, only the Carpathia responded to their distress calls. Amidst the turmoil, Captain Smith sprang into action, issuing orders for evacuation and prioritizing women and children for the lifeboats. But shockingly, many passengers remained blissfully unaware of the impending disaster, lulled into a false sense of security by the Titanic's vaunted reputation as unsinkable. Yes, they had collided with an iceberg, but surely this magnificent vessel, the crown jewel of the ocean, would never succumb to the depths. The Titanic was considered as unsinkable thanks to its groundbreaking design features. With a double-bottomed hull providing an extra layer of protection and 16 watertight compartments that were meant to keep her afloat, even if 4 of them were compromised, confidence ran high. The marketing campaigns of the White Star Line painted a picture of unmatched safety and luxury, creating an image that was almost invincible. But tragedy struck on April 15, 1912, when the ship collided with an iceberg, suffering catastrophic damage that overwhelmed even its advanced design. The very features that were supposed to inspire confidence now stood as stark reminders of their failure in the face of disaster. As water surged into the breached compartments, the truth became painfully clear: the unsinkable ship was on a collision course with history, and time was running out. Stay with us as we unravel the gripping saga of survival, heroism, and the harrowing choices faced that night. Discover how the echoes of the Titanic's fate continue to resonate through the ages, shaping the future of maritime safety for generations to come. When the first lifeboat was lowered, it had room for 65 people, but only 28 boarded, leaving it half empty. As moments ticked by, water flooded the compartments, causing the ship to tilt ominously. By 1 a.m., the bow was submerged, and the stern rose dramatically from the water, exposing the propellers. Panic ensued as chaos erupted. People fought tooth and nail for limited seats in the lifeboats. With only 20 lifeboats available for around 2,200 passengers, desperation hung thick in the air. At 2:05 a.m., the final lifeboat was launched, but a heart-wrenching 1,500 souls remained aboard, facing an uncertain fate. Amid the cries for help and desperate prayers, eyewitnesses later recounted how the Titanic broke apart around 2:20 a.m., slowly disappearing beneath the waves. In less than 3 hours, the so-called unsinkable ship had met a tragic fate. Many of the 1,500 who stayed either drowned or succumbed to the frigid waters, a chilling -2°C. Captain Edward Smith is said to have steadfastly remained at the wheel until the very end, with some speculating he may have taken his own life. The RMS Carpathia finally arrived on the scene around 3:34 a.m., but heartbreakingly, it was an hour too late to save the Titanic and its passengers. After the Titanic disaster, a wave of inquiries and controversies arose, revealing shocking revelations. Imagine this: just 37 kilometers away was the SS Californian, a ship that could have come to the Titanic's rescue that fateful night. An hour before the Titanic struck the iceberg, the Californian sent a vital warning: beware. Icebergs ahead. But at 11:15 p.m., the Californian's radio operator turned off the radio and anchored for the night, prioritizing safety. Unfortunately, this meant the Titanic's distress signals went unnoticed. The two ships were so close that passengers aboard the Titanic could see the Californian in the distance, and one officer even comforted others by saying help was on the way. Yet, when flares and rockets were fired, the Californian remained unresponsive. After midnight, its crew spotted the flares but reported them to Captain Stanley Lord, who dismissed them as mere party signals from the wealthy passengers. If Captain Lord had taken those distress signals seriously, many lives could have been spared. When the Californian finally activated its radio the next morning, it received the Titanic's SOS calls, but it was tragically too late, and they were met with only the remnants of disaster. Investigations pointed fingers at Captain Lord, but this tragedy was a shared failure. The Titanic also lacked sufficient lifeboats, a result of its builders' misguided confidence in its unsinkability. To make matters worse, Captain Smith had canceled safety drills scheduled for the day of the collision, believing they were unnecessary. This catastrophic night was a perfect storm of negligence, miscommunication, and tragic fate. After the Titanic disaster, many questions and debates emerged, revealing some shocking truths. Picture this: just 37 kilometers away, the SS Californian was in a position to rescue Titanic's passengers. Hours before the tragedy, the Californian warned about icebergs, but when Titanic sent out distress signals, the Californian stayed silent. Captain Stanley Lord of the Californian dismissed the rockets as nothing more than fireworks from revelers on the Titanic. If only he had taken those signals seriously. By the time the Californian responded the next morning, it was too late. Only heartbreaking scenes of floating bodies awaited them. Investigations largely blamed Captain Lord, but the tragedy was a shared failure. The Titanic's tragic voyage was exacerbated by a combination of overconfidence and a lack of preparedness. The ship was poorly equipped for emergencies, featuring far fewer lifeboats than needed because its builders and many of its passengers believed it was unsinkable. This misplaced faith in the ship's design led Captain Edward Smith to cancel a critical safety drill on the very day of the disaster, deeming it unnecessary for a vessel heralded as the pinnacle of maritime engineering. Such decisions underscored a broader hubris that ultimately contributed to the catastrophic loss of life. The aftermath of the Titanic disaster brought about sweeping changes in maritime safety regulations. In 1914, the International Ice Patrol was established to monitor iceberg dangers in the North Atlantic, providing crucial information to vessels traversing these treacherous waters. Additionally, the Safety of Life at Sea Solace Treaty was enacted, mandating that all ships must carry enough lifeboats for every passenger and crew member on board. These reforms, born from the ashes of tragedy, were aimed at preventing future disasters and ensuring that safety became a paramount concern in maritime travel. The wreck of the Titanic remained undiscovered for over 70 years, lying quietly at a depth of 3,800 meters beneath the ocean's surface. In 1985, explorers Robert Ballard and Jean-Louis Michel finally located the ship, uncovering the remains of the once great liner and revealing haunting images of its final resting place. The discovery sparked a renewed interest in the Titanic and its story, yet it also brought forth concerns about the preservation of the wreck. Today, the remains of the Titanic are slowly deteriorating, with experts predicting that the iconic vessel could fully disintegrate by 2030 due to deep-sea bacteria and the harsh underwater environment. Despite the tragedy, the allure of the Titanic endures. In 2012, Australian billionaire Clive Palmer unveiled an ambitious Project Titanic I, a meticulously designed replica intended to retrace the original's ill-fated journey across the Atlantic. While the idea sparked excitement and nostalgia, the launch, originally slated for 2016, faced numerous delays. As modern travelers seek comfort and connectivity, many began to question the appeal of a vintage cruise that lacks contemporary amenities like Wi-Fi and modern safety features. The Titanic's legacy continues to evoke fascination and reflection, serving as both a cautionary tale and a reminder of the human spirit's resilience. Its story, marked by both tragedy and hope, remains a poignant chapter in maritime history, inspiring countless books, films, and explorations into its deep-seated mysteries. As we look back on the Titanic, we are reminded not only of the ship's grandeur but also of the lessons learned from its sinking, shaping the future of maritime safety and preserving the memory of those who lost their lives on that fateful night. If you found the tale of the Titanic captivating, stay tuned for more. Join us as we uncover more secrets and stories from history's most legendary events. Whether it's the heroes who emerged from tragedy or the myths that surround this iconic ship, we've got plenty more to explore. Remember, the Titanic may have sunk, but its legacy continues to inspire curiosity and wonder. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a journey into the past.